you?
I'm good. How are you?
Really good. Honestly, it's so hot here in London, which is such a rarity.
And boiling here in New York, which is not a rarity.
I'm melting. I'm melting, Susan.
I
Anyway,
love the accent.
I know, I love yours so much. So firstly, I just want to say thank you so much for obviously accepting this interview, because you are a total girl boss.
Oh, I love that. I want to be a girl boss.
I love your jewelry. I love how you've styled everything. I love how like business savvy you are, and that you're a business boss. And that's what I want to be talking about today, because we have so many women from all over the world that obviously watch Self-Made Girl Boss, and it's important to be able to aspire other women that they too can get up and get dressed and go up.
Right. 100%.
So I'm gonna give to you the invisible microphone. So if you just introduce yourselves, tell us who you are, where you are, what you do, and take it from there.
Okay, so my name is Susan Hanover, for those who don't know me, and I'm a jewelry designer. I live in New York. I'm speaking to you from my store in New York, which I'd love to show you.
Please do so.
We have some lovely ladies who are shopping.
Show me these beautiful pieces.
Yeah, I can show you around a little bit. It's a very minimalistic aesthetic. This is a new collection we're doing now. Hi, ladies. Say hi.
Hi. Hey.
We're doing a live interview in London. So, yeah, you could see. I mean, I'm actually wearing some today. I love these. They're super lightweight.
Oh.
Yeah, and
I love that, because I've bought some jewelry which I've absolutely fallen in love with, and by the end of the night, my ears,
you're like, I know, you're in pain, right? So we wanted some for this collection. I want, because I usually do actually. My last collection was more about the geodes, which would be something like this, which is much, more dramatic, So, but this time I wanted to go light. I wanted to go very whimsical, yeah, it's been great. So
I love that. It's so Saint-Tropez, those earrings you just showed.
Oh, thank you.
Love.
That's cool. I like that. But I'd like to tell you honestly a little bit, because I did read a little bit about you guys and about your followers, and I wrote something for you, which I'm sure you're referring to that. And I wanted to talk about entrepreneurship, because you really can start anything. And for me, it was fashion, but for your followers or your viewers, it really could be anything. So whatever it is that kind of moves your boat is what that would be my first thing. It's like whatever moves you, whatever passions you have, you can transform it, especially today. When I started 10, 12 years ago, there was no social media. So it's very different today, and it makes the world that much more accessible. Right.
So, but I want to know more about your story, because even though you've shared your story, there's people logging on now that, haven't even gone on to the online magazine. So tell us about you. Who is Susan?
Okay. So I was born in South Africa. Yeah, I know you have a lot of South African followers, which I love. I was born there.
Such a big following, or the majority. I've interviewed the most incredible, even celebrities in South Africa.
Really? Isn't that funny?
Yeah, South Africans are so warm.
Very warm. Very warm.
Kind, and
hardworking.
It doesn't matter if they're celebrities or not. They're there. They're always wanting to help. And I fell in love with that.
Yeah, no, I love the culture there too. Anyway, so I grew up there and moved to Israel actually when I was a teenager. So I actually grew up there too. I was in the army there. So that toughened me up. Yeah, that was an amazing experience. And it makes you stronger. It teaches you about survival, and it gives you confidence, because you can survive anything if you've done any sort of military service. And then I kind of followed a very traditional sort of path for women of my generation, which was I was a right brain kind of person, and I was not going to go into the sciences. I was not going to do anything like that. I was motivated, so I went to law school. And a lot of women in my generation did that. And I went to law school and I became a lawyer, and it was okay. It wasn't, didn't float my boat, but it was a decent paycheck, and I was enjoying that. And my life kind of took a change. I met my husband. Yeah, I met my husband, who's from New York. I met him in Israel. And we ended up getting married, and I got pregnant, and he wanted to move back here. And of course I moved with him, and I figured I would just convert my law degree into a New York law degree and just go from there. And what happened was, once we all settled down and I tried to do that, I was told that I couldn't do it that easily, that it would take a lot of funding and a lot of money for me to actually become an attorney in New York, like I was practicing in Israel. And we just didn't have the money. We basically didn't have the money, and I needed a paycheck. I needed to bring her. I already had a baby. And like I said in the article, I did some paralegal work, but all the money that I was making was going to childcare. So I needed, basically the point being that I needed to find a way that I could make money. And starting a business just seemed like the only option to me at the time. My father's an entrepreneur. A lot of my cousins are entrepreneurs. It wasn't that foreign to me. South Africans do have an entrepreneurial spirit, I think, from what I hear and from what I've seen. And I just took a passion. I just took a hobby. Like I said in the article, I met someone who complimented me on a necklace, and she offered to pay for the necklace. She's like, "Oh, can you make me one?" I was like, "Sure." And she offered me like what seemed like so much money at the time. And I came home and I was like, "Oh my God, I have a business."
This is it.
This is, well, yeah, but I didn't dream of this. I just, like I said in that article, it's just grow organically. It was very organic. I started making jewelry myself, literally myself at the kitchen table. I made a very small collection, showed it to my friends and family, and they were very supportive. And started getting confidence, started owning it. That's another thing I'd like to tell you all, own it.
So you look younger than that background.
I look younger.
What a beautiful compliment. I'll take that. Lovely.
And once I felt like I had more confidence, I felt I had more of a legitimate story, I started taking it to bigger stores and started really pursuing it as a business. And I got some lucky breaks, which, as I said in the article, as in the world of entrepreneurship, you will find some lucky breaks. As long as you put yourself out there, things will happen.
I don't know if they're lucky breaks. I think it's preparation meets opportunity. I think that, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't believe in luck. I believe that you
make your own.
Yeah, I mean, there's working hard and there's working smart.
Right.
There are people.
So maybe it's working smart. And just keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open and your eyes open for opportunities, because they will come. They're there. The universe will throw things at you, but you have to recognize it. And that was basically it. And then, so we did a couple of years and we developed a wholesale brand strongly. We went hard and fast. I moved all my manufacturing to India, which is fantastic opportunities I've had there. And we got into the right stores and the right publicity. We did it all in-house. Wow. We didn't have funding for outside PR, so we did it all. We hustled. We pretty much hustled. I told you now, we got into Oprah magazine. Like, Oprah picked us twice for her favorite things, and Michelle Obama, the first lady, wore our earrings for many events. So that was really exciting. That was like a moment. Like I said, that was a magical moment.
You've actually got quite a high following. You've got like 16,000 people following you. Is that how it happened, because of who the celebrities that did wear?
Yeah, a little bit, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we've been around for a while, and we promote, we post and we active, and
Yeah, what do you think about that? Do you think it's important to market and to be active?
Very. You got to be active on social media. I mean, you don't overdo it, right? You wanted to. I also think it's important to be who you are, not to be everything. Find your DNA, find your brand, and just stay who you are. Don't try and be everything.
So, Susan, when you've had, because I mean, this happens to all of us, right? When you've had moments where you think, I can't do this, I can't go on,
right.
Or something's happened, or, life takes over, which it happens to every single
everybody.
One of us.
Right.
How do you pull yourself out of it? That's what I love to ask women, because that's the key right there. What are you saying to yourself to coach yourself through the hard times?
Yeah, so one of the things I always said, like, especially in the beginning when I was overwhelmed, especially when we were a wholesale brand, because we'd get big POs and we were a very small operation and we'd have to do everything ourselves, and we got things wrong, and we were reading writing guides through the night and packing boxes and things. We were sometimes late on deliveries, and then our margins weren't that strong at the time. And I always had this perspective, and I've always told it to my kids as well. It's like, this is not life or death. It's not an operating room. I'm not a neurosurgeon here. This is bad. And it really helps me. And I always said it to the people, this is not like, if we make mistakes, we make mistakes. We're going to own them. Own your mistakes and be transparent. Be transparent, and most times it'll be okay. Honestly, I could think maybe once where they were like unforgiving, unmistaken. We ate it and it was just not life or death. We didn't die. And, you know,
but it was
we
painful.
continued.
But you know what? You need these mistakes and these painful situations in order to be able to grow and evolve and to also
Right,
know
absolutely.
you can do
Failure's
that
part of
again.
it. Failure is so much a part of it. I mean, my generation didn't do as well with failure as your generation. I feel you guys do much better with failure. Like for us, you know, you guys have so much confidence. We had less, I feel. I feel millennials have a lot of confidence and they can handle the failure. It doesn't matter. They just,
You know, I think obviously social media and technology has played a massive part in everything. But actually, there's also, you know, a group of people that feel so pressurized by things looking perfect, us looking perfect, wearing the right
right.
clothes, having the right body in accordance to what is
But I
out
think
there
it's
in the
changing.
media.
I think it's
Yeah.
changing. I have a daughter who's 16 and she's so much different to my kids who are in the, like, I have sons who are in the early 20s. Much more, you know, it's different now. I'm
Yeah.
noticing there's much more of an acceptance
It
and
had
acceptance
to
of their
change.
bodies.
It had to change. We have had here in the UK some programs in whereby, you know, mental health is a real big problem, and
Right.
people committing suicide, very famous people, which were in our eyes.
I've seen. It's
Yeah,
shocking.
so it has to change. That, you know, there's
Yeah,
nothing.
1 second. I'm just going to help these ladies. Can you give me 1 second?
So
Okay.
no, so this is what I was saying. I was saying when because obviously sales is a whole other kettle of fish to talk about. But let's just touch upon it very quickly, and that is when you have a prospect, deal with it, right?
Oh my God, you never say no to a prospect ever. I mean, I had a story. I mean, I might have put that in the article where we were very, very new, and I'd basically been selling to, like, my business was tiny. I'd be just selling to like local stores in my neighborhood, and I met somebody who knew someone, Marcus, which is an amazing retail operation in the US. And they put me into, and I guess they'd shown them some of my stuff. And all of a sudden I'm literally like cooking. I'm in my kitchen and the phone rings. And I saw it was my business line. So I mean, immediately I put on my, hey, it's Susan Hanover Designs. I have my baby there. And she's like, oh, we love those earrings. We want to put in an order for our catalog. We wanted for, I don't remember what it was. And I was like, oh, amazing. And they were like, can you deliver X amount of units in like 6 weeks? I'm like, of course we can. Whereas there was no way, no how. And it didn't even occur to me to say no. Whereas when my husband came home and I told him, he was like, oh my God, you can't fulfill that order. There's no way. You're like a one-person operation, because he's like a finance guy. He's like, you can't do it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to say no.
Right.
It would
You
occur
say yes and then figure it out.
figure it out, and we figured it out.
And you figured it out.
Of course. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, we figured
I love it. That's the attitude. Like, if you want to, we have to wake up. Like, you know, what are we falling asleep for?
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Is on it, you know. We have to, this is the thing, this is what I try and say to my girls, like, wake up, you know. Don't let something go when you see it. You know, you got to feel hungry, you got to feel obsessed about it.
You got to be obsessed, and opportunities don't come every day.
No,
opportunities do not come every day, and you learn that too. So every time they come, you've got to grab them. You've got to maximize them. It's low, like the yield is low. You've got to take everyone you can.
exactly. So who was your mentors then throughout all of this?
Oh my God. Well, you know what? My father was really a mentor to me, because he was a successful entrepreneur, and he also found a lot of joy in it. He was never stressed. Or maybe he was, but he never showed it. He enjoyed the process. And to me, that was what moved me. Like, just enjoy it. It's fun.
I think you have to enjoy it. Otherwise,
You know, and then of course I met other designers in my field along the way who were a couple of years ahead of me, who were very inspirational. You know, I don't know, do you know Kendra Scott? It's a very successful brand in the US. So we actually joined she was a few years ahead of me in her business, and I was very inspired by her. She was just a go-getter, great salesperson, a great person too. You know, so a few women like that, always women.
You know, I really like a jewellery brand. I think it's just Jewellery. And I went there to New York a couple of years ago, and I've heard they've closed down, and that's
Right.
Henry Mandel.
Oh yes, well that's where I started. Henry Mantel's where I actually started. I mean, that was a multi-brand store, like a 3-level multi-brand department store, and they sold a lot of jewelry and accessories. And that's where I started. Yeah, they were fantastic.
But they've closed up now.
As have many retailers in the US. Yeah. But you know what? When things close like that, it gives opportunities for smaller brands to come in, and niche brands. And that's the way I'm feeling right now about
But
anyone.
it's but doesn't it, like, for example, I can't believe it, obviously a year ago, if anyone was to speak about a pandemic, you'd be like, you know, you're living in the movies, like, stop it.
Right.
But you know, there's companies like Victoria's Secrets that have gone into administration. We've got some big restaurateurs here in London, like Cafe Rouge, Bella Italia, that, you know, have also gone into administration. And it really actually makes you think, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I really believe in multiple streams of income. I really think that you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, because you just don't know what's going to happen, you know, around the corner. So do you believe in multiple streams of income? Like, what is your take on that?
Yeah, no, my take is actually not. I feel like find your thing and focus on it, but pivot. Know when to pivot. Be open-minded, be flexible. Don't like follow, because your business plan is going to change along the way. Like, we were a fully wholesale brand and we're now mainly a retail brand at this point. So be very open. But for me personally, I didn't even consider. Once this was working and once I felt like I had
Your baby.
yeah, it was like the genesis of it was happening. I went full steam ahead. Yeah.
If you had a magic wand and you could change one thing in the world, what would it be and why?
In the world, so not personal to me.
In the world, and only one thing.
I mean, I think we're facing climate. I think it would be climate change. I just feel like if we could all get together as a global unit and be fully focused on climate, I think that would be the magic that we need. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think I think we're such a global society today. I don't think we should operate as nations so much anymore. I think we're headed towards a global, and I think we should have that consciousness as well. We shouldn't have so much of a national consciousness. We should have a global consciousness, because the world's tiny. I mean, you're in the UK right now. I'm in New York, and you know, look at this.
I know.
So this is not what the world was 10 years ago. It's unbelievable. Like, I never even consider, when I call my family abroad, I always FaceTime or do it on WhatsApp. I never even think about using just doing audio anymore. So, yeah.
The world has become very small. I do love that. I love that answer. And just for everyone that will be watching this once, because if you can post it, and then I'll get the link, and then I'm going to put it on YouTube and podcast.
Oh, I'd love that.
Where can we buy your goods? Do you ship internationally?
Of course.
Website?
Yes.
How does it all work?
Of course. So we have a fantastic website. We have a big website. We ship all over the world. So it would be susanhanoverdesigns.com. The e-boutique, there's a tab there which says e-boutique. That's where you would go. Or you could go directly on shop.susanhanoverdesigns.com. And that would be the shop. And there's a lot of stuff. And I think there's a 20% promotion for first-time buyers. So there should be a banner at the top.
And what is the lead time? So, like, say from London, if I was going to order something.
Yeah, I think it gets to London within the week. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And I think there's a flat fee of $20 for international shipping, not more. And we can waive it oftentimes if people text us, like, we'll waive the shipping fee, especially because we want to bring in our international people.
Yeah, definitely. And where in New York are you?
I'm in New York. I'm just outside Manhattan in a place called my store is in Great Neck.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I am right now. You could see. And like I said, we have a very, I'm just showing you my store a little bit. People eating outside. Do so. Yeah. So it's a very minimalistic aesthetic. The price point honestly ranges between $100 to like $400. So it's not crazy. We do, it's great for like an impulse buy or just a piece.
Or a gift, yeah.
A gift, fantastic for a gift, so.
And I saw that on your website, you also do bridal, like costumes.
We do amazing bridals. Unfortunately, now we don't have that many bridals going up, right? With parties going on. But you could do small occasions. Yeah, we do amazing bridals. Yeah, we customize a lot of the bridal parties and bridal jewelry.
Amazing. Well, I just want to say thank you so much.
This was so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
It was amazing. Thank you for showing me around your beautiful shop and for taking the time and for being such a hustler and just showing it how it is, even on live IGTV. Like, I absolutely love that. So
thank you so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. I look forward to seeing. So were you going to send me the video, the clip, and I can post it?
So post this. So after we come off it, it will give you, it will say share IGTV.
Okay,
so click on that. It will go onto your page, and then I will take the link and I'll give it to my editor,
Awesome.
and he will
Awesome.
do it. Yeah.
All right,
So
great. Thank you so much.
Susan.
Lots of love. Take care. Stay
Bye
safe.
bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.